Hey all, Al here. Just going to do a bit of a test flight around New York to see how the FPS is doing. Again, bog standard Microsoft install. Haven't done any updates. Nvidia driver is an old one still. Haven't updated that. Haven't done any installs of anything. Just a clean install of Microsoft. So let's do a bit of a helicopter flight around New York and see how the flight frames per second are going. Okay, so let's get it off the ground here. Oh, that was a bit of a quick lift off. Getting 59 and them isn't doing too bad. Let's get some height over the buildings here. All my settings are in the description. Pretty much all on ultra. Constant 60 frames per second here. Okay. Getting pretty good graphics, still getting up on the 5960. Still getting a constant 60 frames per second. As I say, I haven't updated anything. I haven't tweaked anything. It's on the old driver, the Nvidia one. I'll put in the description what one I'm running. I'm getting better graphics, better performance than I ever got with tweaking all the settings on the old i5. Try not to crash it here. See, the buildings are amazing looking. I do realize it's an i7 13 gen, but I don't think that. I'm trying to look over at the specs there. I can't. The frames per second and fly it. As far as I can see, the CPU is only getting 20%, so it's not getting hammered or anything. GPU is around 60, but the GPU is the same as I've always had. It's the 3080 RTX So it's not making much sense to me. CPU has not gone up. The usage has not gone up wildly. I'm loving the graphics here. I'm doing New York because I can see a lot of the simmer guys on YouTubers say that this is the hardest, one of the hardest places for taxing the CPU and GPU. Pretty much if you can get things working here, you can get them working anywhere, as the song goes. But this is the best I have had this flight sim running ever. I'm just looking at the textures of everything. Again, CPU is sitting at a constant 20%. GPU maxing out maybe at 70%, I think, maybe. Getting reflections and everything off the buildings. You might laugh at me, but I've never seen the sim looking like this before. I'm used to the buildings looking really old and something out of a war movie. I'm just trying to tax it to see. If I can push it, if I can drop, but it's not dropping. It's keeping a constant 60. Now the only thing I can think, this is a baseline test. The only thing I can think of when I update the US and all the updates, whether that'll affect the frames per second. This is a joy to fly it. Getting a reflection of all the buildings on the water. I don't know why that bridge is always missing. Maybe it's meant to be, I don't know. out here towards the Statue of Liberty. So again, I'll say it again, it looks to me that if you're thinking of upgrading your PC, from what I can see, you don't need to buy anything like a 4090 or 4080. If you've got a good decent 3060 or 3080, and you're running an older gen CPU, looks like an update to maybe 13th gen is really worth the money. Like, just look at that. Look, I mean, it's this good now. Just try and go back and land where we took off from. But yeah, I'm not losing any frames per second. I could be losing the helicopter in a second if I don't fly it right. We're going a bit nuts here in the helicopter, but apart from my crap flying, I think this proves no real tweaking needed to be done on the sim. Okay, I need to level it out here. Second, I am Yeah, frames per second are not dropping at all. They're constant. Can't remember where I took off from. Yes, I can. Helipad down there. Okay, I might have just need to get it level. There you go. 60 frames per second over New York. So, looks to me like, well, I'm pretty happy with my upgrade. And it's really improved the sim. So I really need to start messing with the settings and other stuff to try and get more frames per second. Isn't 60 frames per second enough? Anyway, that's enough of me boring you with this test. Just proves that a 3080 and an i7 13 Gen 32 gigs of DDR5 are well capable of running the same at ultra on constant 60 frames per second. We'll see when we put the add-ins, the updates, whether that brings the frames per second down. But for now, I think I'm happy enough with that test, baseline test. Just need to do one in Melbourne before I put the add-ins for Melbourne and Essendon Airport to see whether that changes things. But for now, from New York, hover over New York, 60 frames per second. Sim is looking beautiful, absolutely stunning. This blows me away how good this sim gets. Anyway, for now, big Al out. Chat to you later.